Hello, my beautiful crafters. Welcome to the channel. Today, we are going to make a custom DIY Easter bunny basket. So let's go ahead and hop on into the project. This is the pieces or the pattern that you would need to make your basket. I am going to leave a link in the description to this basket, but you're going to go ahead, print out the pattern, cut them out, tape them together, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, great. So now that that's done, let's go ahead and cut the fabric out. You would need one piece of the lower basket, one piece of fabric that is, of the lower basket, then two pieces of each fabric for the ear, two pieces for the bottom, two pieces for the strap, one piece for the upper part of the outer basket, and one piece for the liner. The instruction would be on the pattern, so you just follow it, cut out your fabric, iron it, and then we will go to the sewing machine. The next step, I am gonna add notches to the center to show me where the center of my fabric is so I can match it up perfectly. You can also use a pin to identify where the center is in this part. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and match up my straps, two fabric for my straps, one of the canvas and one of the checkered. I'll do the same thing for the ears, put the two pieces together so I can just hop on the machine and sew everything all at once. Now, what I'm gonna do is match up those notches. Again, you can always use a pin to identify where the center of your fabric is. And I'm gonna go ahead and sew my outer part of my basket, which means the bottom is gonna be the checkered and the top is going to be the canvas fabric. I'm gonna flip it over, make sure that my right sides are facing each other, and then I'm gonna go in and clip them together and then sew the edges. So I'm starting from the center out, clipping it because it's cut in a slight curve. So once you put them together, it would look like it's off, meaning when you flip them over right sides together, they're gonna be kind of going in the opposite direction. So we're gonna pin it together from inside out, meaning from the middle out to the end of the both fabric to make sure that they line up perfectly. Quick note, all my seams are 1/4 inch seams. Okay, we get in there. Now that that is finished, let's go ahead and iron these down so we have a nice flat surface to work with. So we're gonna iron down the air. What I'm doing right here is that I'm folding my air all over. So instead of adding notches to it, I'm gonna just kind of steam it down right there so I know where my center fold is. And then I'm gonna do the same thing for the straps. This is the straps. I'm gonna iron it down so that when we go to the machine, we're not fighting to keep our seams together. We iron them down beautifully and nicely, all right? Next, let's go ahead and stitch the liner together. Now, make sure and leave an opening in your liner, and that would be to pull the inner part out to flip the basket out, inside out. I stitched mine all together, but what happened is I had to go back in and rip it. So let's go ahead and stitch maybe a half inch. Leave that opening and then stitch the top. As you can see, like I said, I stitched my entire thing, but I had to go back in and open it up. This is the outer part of the basket, so this one we will stitch the entire thing. We won't leave any opening. We'll stitch the entire thing on this part. Now I am going to line up the handles and the ear to the basket. So at this point you would have either notches or pins holding down your handles, and I also place the ear. The ear will be facing forward, opening to the front like I have mine there. And I'm just stitching it down just to secure them, to make sure that they don't move when I am attaching or stitching the bottom, the inner lining and the outer part together. What I'm doing here is what I said before. I had to reopen my lining or my inner part of my basket to include that opening, to flip it inside out. So that's what I'm doing right now. I am stitching them back together to secure the bottom and the top. Now let's go ahead and connect the two. So you're gonna take the outer part of the basket like I'm holding right here, which is facing right side, and you're gonna place it into the lining, which is facing the wrong side or the inside out. All right, so basically think of it that I am putting together right side to right side. Okay, so my inner lining is gonna be facing the correct way, and the outer line is going to be turned inside out. Now I'm matching up my back seams together, and then I'm going to match up the notches on my side and the notches on my front, and then I'm going to stitch the top of them together and pull it through my opening that I left there. I'm going to pull it through this to turn the basket inside out. I am adding a straight stitch to the top just to keep things neat and in place. You can add a decorative stitch. It's completely up to you. The next and final step is to close up that opening that we left in the lining. Here I am adding my tags, so make sure to add your tags at this point and stitch it together, and that's it. We are all done with our DIY Easter basket. Thank you for joining me through this project. Make sure to subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and smash that like button. See you on the next one.